All right, so we're going to do word problems now, everybody's favorite. So we're going to draw a picture as we're reading the problem. So Jack and Tom are out flying a kite. Jack had let out 73 feet of kite string when he sees that his kite is directly above his friend Tom. Okay, so Jack's over here. So this is Jack. This is Tom. Jack let out a kite string that was 73 feet. And it's directly above Tom. If Jack is 48 feet, from Tom, how high is the kite off the ground? So we want to figure out how high the kite is off the ground. So 73 is our C, 48 is our A, and we need to find our B, right? So now we just plug those values into the Pythagorean theorem. So we do 48 squared plus B squared equals 73 squared. All right, so let's find those. 48 squared is 2304 plus B squared equals, and then 73 squared is 5329, right? Okay, so now we have to get B alone, so we subtract 2304 minus 2304, and then we get 523025 equals B squared. Then we take the square root of both sides, and we get B is equal to 55. And it's 55 feet. So let's label, let's write a sentence. The kite is 55 feet off the ground. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, so second one. During a football game, a running back and defensive player are 21 yards apart. The running back needs to run straight 35 yards to get a touchdown. Okay. So let's say this is the run back. And this is the defensive player. We know that they are 21 yards apart. 21 yards. And we know that the running back has to run straight 35 yards to get a touchdown. How many yards will the defensive player have to run to reach the end zone? So we need to figure out what he needs to run here. Okay, to catch the running back at the end zone. All right, so then this is A, B, C is what we're trying to find. So let's plug it into our formula. So we have 21 squared plus 35 squared equals C squared. So now 21 squared is 441. 35 squared is 1225. Now we have to add those up. So what is 441 plus 1,225? That is 1,666. Okay, now we need to take the square root of both, and C equals, make sure you round to the 10th. That's probably what I would round to the 10th, so we get 40.8. So let's write our sentence. The defensive player would have to run 40.8 yards to catch the running back. Okay, and our sentence just answers the question. Okay, so that's all our sentence does at the end. Okay, one more together, and then I'm going to let you try the next two on your own. So, a park is in the shape of a rectangle. So we got a park, our green park, here it is, in the shape of a rectangle. That's 15 miles long, 15 miles, and 8 miles wide. How much shorter, that's a key word there, shorter, is it if you run diagonally across the park versus if you ran along the two sides? So first thing we need to do is find how long the diagonal is. So let's do that first. So let's find the diagonal by using the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so we have 15 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. 15 squared, hopefully you remember, is 225. And 8 squared is 64. So what's 225 plus 64? 225 plus 64 is 289 equals c squared. Let's take our square root. C is what? What is the square root of 289? That should be 17. So now we know the hypotenuse is 17 miles. But that's not what it's asking. It's asking how much shorter it is if you run diagonally than if you run along the two sides. So when it's shorter, what you need to do is add the edges, then subtract hypotenuse, because that's our diagonal length. So we're going to add up our edges of 15 plus 8. 15 plus 8. Whatever that gives us, we're going to subtract our hypotenuse. So what is 15 plus 8? 15 plus 8 is 23. What's 23 minus 17? That gives us 5. So it is 5 miles shorter to run diagonally through the park. Okay, so on the next page is a problem that matches each one that we just did. So you're going to do 4 and 5. Right now, I want you to pause 4 and 5. When you unpause, the work will be there, and you're going to check your work. And then 6 is your homework. Okay, so pause right now and do 4 and 5, and then check your work when you unpause. Okay, so hopefully you got that the ladder reaches 21 feet up the wall, and that Sabrina and her family were 20 miles from the campsite. If you didn't get those, really make sure you reread and look at my pictures. That's why we make the pictures, right? Because they help paint a pretty clear view. With Sabrina and her family, make sure you know which direction east is and which direction south is, okay? Next for you to do is complete your homework question, all right? So get cracking on that.